Hey guys, it's Callie and welcome back to another video. I am finally filming the long-awaited how I take my notes and study in nursing school video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys exactly what I did last semester to get all A's in nursing school. Just a little disclaimer before we start this video, every single nursing school is different, so my nursing school program is probably going to be different than what your program is like. Every school has different rules and exam averages that you have to achieve to pass the courses, and what worked for me might not necessarily work for you, but these are my methods and what worked best for me to get all A's and pass the classes in my program. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing I'm going to be sharing with you guys is how I take my notes. For most of you who are already subscribed to me and watch my videos, you already know that I do everything on Quizlet. I take all of my notes on Quizlet. I don't write notes. I don't have a separate Word document for my notes. I do everything on Quizlet. So everything that I need to know for the exams, I put it in a Quizlet study set, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do that, how my Quizlet is set up, because I have it organized into different classes. I have all my study sets organized a specific way so that I don't get confused, and I do my notes a specific way, which is what works best for me. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. Okay, so when you make a Quizlet account, there's something called your library. So when you click on it, it'll show you your classes, your study sets, and then there are other things, but I really just use the study sets and the classes tabs. So when you click on classes, it'll take you to all of your classes. You can create as many as you want. So I have like a bazillion classes. I have like all of my classes throughout my time in college here, and right now these are the classes that I'm taking. So I have my pharmacology class right here, psych mental health, and complex health. And when you click on each class, so for pharmacology, it'll show you all of your study sets for that class. So these are all of my study sets that I made for exam 1. And then for exam 2, these are all of my study sets, so diuretics, cardiac meds, antihypertensives. And then for exam 3, these are all my study sets for exam 3. In parentheses here, I started putting what exam each study set is for so that I don't get confused. And so these are all my study sets for pharm. And then I'll also show you like my complex health one. So these are all of my study sets for complex health. So for the first exams, I didn't start putting which exam it is in parentheses, but I started doing that because it really helps me not get confused. So for exam 2, like it was on diabetes, chronic cardiovascular and hematologic disorders, EKG and electricity, anemia, and that was everything on that exam. So these are my study sets right here. And then you can also, to each class, add other people's study sets if you want. And you can do that by like searching up other people's sets. So say I want to look up like anemia, literally like a ton of different study sets that other people make will come up and you can study them. So like this is some random person's study set, this is someone else's study set, that one's mine. But you can just look at other people's study sets and then add them to your class. Okay, so now that I show you guys all of my classes, I'm going to show you how to make your own study set. So it's super easy. You're just going to click this little add button right here, click study set, and you can also click class to make your own class. So at the beginning of each semester, I will make all of my classes for the semester, but I'm going to show you guys how to make a study set right now. So you'll click that, and then you can just click, I always do create from scratch. And then you can title it right here. So usually I'll put like which exam it's going to be. So we can do like exam 4, and I always put that in parentheses. And then next to it, I always put like the title of whatever is going to be on the exam. So for example, our 4th exam for complex health is GI disorders. So I'll just like make a little fake study set right here for you guys. So that's like what I'll do for the title, and then one by one I will just start doing the flashcards. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Okay, so at the beginning of every set, I will pull this little tab here to the side, and I will kind of split my computer in half. So I'll have my Quizlet study set right here to take my notes, and then on the other side, I will pull up whatever I am taking the notes off of. So it's either a PowerPoint, a grid, a worksheet, like whatever it is that I'm studying for the exam, I will pull it up on this side and take my notes and put it onto the Quizlet. And right here, I just created this from scratch for you guys. I can't like show you guys my school's grids and things, because those are like copyrighted to the school, like those belong to my school, and I can't show you guys all that stuff, but I made this for you guys to show you as an example, and I'm going to show you guys how I put them into a study set. So for example, say I'm like studying my notes, and these are my notes. I have the definition of like Crohn's disease right here. So what I would do is I would copy this entire thing, this whole sentence. I'm going to click copy. I'm going to paste it right here. And then what I do for like almost every single flashcard is I make it into a question, sort of. So I would take like Crohn's disease, copy it, and then I would do like an underscore. So I would make a blank, and then I would put the answer on this side where definition is. So now I have a flashcard. Blank is a chronic, long-lasting disease that causes inflammation in your digestive tract. The answer is Crohn's disease. And so I basically do that for like the entire study set. And so I'll show you another example with the symptoms. So now I have symptoms of Crohn's disease. Say these are my notes. I will copy all of the symptoms from my notes, and I'll usually put the symptoms on the definition side, and I'll just make another question out of it again. So for the question, I'll usually write, what are the symptoms of Crohn's disease? And then also, see how there are like so many, like that's a lot to remember. I'll count the number of them. So we have 5 symptoms. So we have abdominal pain, nausea and vomiting, diarrhea more than 2 weeks, unexplained weight loss, and fever. So I'll put a little 5 here to remind myself when I'm doing the flashcards that there are 5 symptoms. It makes it easier for me than just like having to remember all of the symptoms, not knowing like if I got them all when I'm guessing before I look at the flashcard. So I just like to do that to help myself out. So yeah, that's literally how I do all of my notes, and I do it this way because of active recall. This turns all of my notes into active recall. I'm gonna click create and show you guys like what the flashcards look like now. You can study these on your laptop or on your phone, and I always study them on my phone like 90% of the time. And so now we have flashcards. So blank is a chronic long-lasting disease that causes inflammation in your digestive tract. I think it's Crohn's disease, and it is. And then you can choose to star certain ones that you want to review later. And then on your phone, I'll show you guys a screen recording of it, but you can swipe to the right or the left to choose if you got it right or wrong. And if you got it wrong, you would swipe it to the left and you can study it again. And if you got it right, you can swipe it to the right and it won't make you study it again. I hope that made sense, but like I can't really show you guys on the computer, but I'll show you guys on my phone. And now we have another flashcard. So what are the symptoms of Crohn's disease? I remember like abdominal pain, nausea and vomiting. There's 5 of them, but I can only remember 2, so I'll probably mark that as wrong. But now I'll click it, I can look at all the symptoms, okay, and I'll put it in the wrong pile so I can study it again. That is literally how I do all of my notes, and I study for every single exam in nursing school. This works for me because it's active recall, so it's forcing me to like actively recall it from my memory. The reason why just writing out my notes doesn't work for me is because when I read it, I'm not really like forcing myself to try and remember the definitions and stuff, if that makes sense. Like when I read stuff, I read it and I retain some of the information, but a lot of it just kind of goes out the window. Like I can't remember specifics. And for a lot of these exams, you need to know specifics. And so that's why the flashcards work for me. That's literally how I do all of my notes. And when I'm in class and I'm listening to my teacher, if she says anything that's important for the exam that I need to remember for later that you would usually write down in your notes, I will write that down in the study set. I won't necessarily make it a question. Like for example, if my teacher says, make sure you know the difference between Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis for this exam, you're gonna need to know it, I will just write that in my study set with like a little asterisk so that I can remember later, okay, I need to study that. I literally just use the study sets as my notes so that when the exam rolls around, that's the only thing I look at. And then also, I forgot to show you guys, but you can add pictures, but that's only if you have Quizlet Plus. Okay, so I pulled up one of my Complex Health Exam 2 study sets on EKG and electricity, and it's my study set that I studied for all of the EKG strips. and I wanted to show you guys why it can be really helpful to use the Pictures tab on Quizlet. Okay, so this is one of the flashcards from that set. When I'm studying, so this is treatment for second-degree heart block. I have this picture here, and this can help me to remember what second-degree heart block type 2 looks like. And so it can be really helpful to have these pictures here. I'll show you guys another one. Okay, sinus tachycardia. I have another picture here, and it just reminds me what sinus tach looks like. And so I just find having pictures super helpful when I'm studying for the exams, because it helps bring the information together better. And especially for things like EKG strips, you need to know what it looks like. So that's why I really like having Quizlet Plus and having the ability to use pictures on the flashcards. I want to make two things super clear though. One, I didn't have Quizlet Plus for years, so it is not necessary. I did not use Quizlet Plus for anatomy and physiology, and I aced both of those classes just fine using Quizlet without the Plus version. I just made physical flashcards for myself with the pictures. Whenever I had to study pictures or anatomy, I just made physical flashcards. And number two, I just wanted to throw in a disclaimer that this is not sponsored by Quizlet in any way, shape, or form. So everything I'm telling you guys is true and from the heart. I love Quizlet to death. They don't need to sponsor me for me to say good things about them and talk about how great of an app or a website it is, because it literally saved my entire life. I don't know how I would do school without Quizlet. Because here's the thing. Yes, I could just make flashcards by hand, but it would take me light years longer to take all of my notes and make flashcards than to just type out my notes on Quizlet or copy and paste stuff from the PowerPoints into my Quizlet. And I would have to take my flashcards everywhere with me if I wanted to study on the go, whereas with Quizlet, it's just on my phone. And I can just study my flashcards on my phone wherever I am. That's another thing I wanted to tell you guys for how I study. Whenever I have downtime and I have an exam coming up, say I get somewhere early, when I drive to clinical, I usually get there about 15 minutes early because of traffic, I don't want to be late. When I'm just sitting there in my car and I have an exam coming up, I just study my flashcards on my phone. It's super easy. Or say I'm at a restaurant and I'm bored and I'm waiting for a table, and I have an exam coming up, I'll just study my flashcards while I'm waiting. It is so easy to just have all of your flashcards on your phone. It makes it so easy to just study whenever you have downtime, wherever you are, because you always have your phone with you. That is another reason I love Quizlet so much, and that's another reason why this has been so successful for me when it comes to nursing school and studying and having all of my notes in a study set on Quizlet. I would attribute about 90% of the reason I got all A's last semester to Quizlet and this study method, but there are a few other things as well that I would not have been able to get the grades that I did without. And one of those things is planning. Having a planner and staying organized in nursing school is so important, because you have clinicals, you have labs, you have a million assignments, you have exams always coming up around the corner. You need a planner. At least for me, I would not have survived last semester. I wouldn't be halfway through this semester doing well if it wasn't for a planner. This is my planner this semester. It is the Erin Condren Life Planner, and I'm going to show you guys a little rundown of how I plan every single week. Okay, so this was from my first week of my second semester of nursing school. And so as you can see, I have all of my assignments that I had due that week in this planner. I had them highlighted according to their class. So for example, everything in green corresponds with Complex Health 1. Everything in purple corresponds with Psych. And everything in blue, there wasn't that much stuff, but that corresponded with Pharm. And as I do all of the assignments, I cross them out. As you can see, I put a check mark and I cross it out so I can easily tell okay, that assignment is done and it's out of the way. And I also like to use stickers. It also might seem silly, but stickers really help when you're planning, just to make your planner look cuter, more organized. It's more enticing to me to plan when I use stickers because it's just more fun that way. And I have a bunch of really cute nursing stickers. I keep them them all in this little drawer right here, but I'll show you guys like some of the places that I get them from. This sticker book is super cute. It's from Recollections, and it has just a ton of like medical related stickers and just anything related to the medical field. It's the Scrub Life pack, and it's where like a bunch of the stickers that I've used in my planner are from. And then I also have these little stickers off of Etsy. I haven't used them yet because they're so cute, and like I'm just so bad about not using stickers that I think are like super cute because I'm really indecisive about where I want to put them. The Happy Planner is also a really good brand for stickers. I have other ones. I think they're up at my dorm at school, but yeah, they're a really good brand as well. These ones are super cute. They're not nursing related, but they're like little to-do lists, like mini to-do lists, and they're just super cute. I haven't opened it yet, but I really want to use them. I also forgot to mention that every single week I put what week we're on. So like this was week 7. There's no stickers here, but this was week 6. It was during Valentine's week, so I put like little hearts and stuff. And yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to show you guys for my planner. But that is everything I wanted to share with you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. That is everything I did last semester to get the grades that I did and to pass my classes, and it's exactly what I'm doing this semester too. It really just boils down to the Quizlets and staying organized and utilizing other resources when I need to. Sometimes less is more, and that's what works for me, and what works for me might not work for you, but it might work for you. So I definitely recommend giving the Quizlets a shot if you've never used it before. If you want to try out something different when you're studying, Quizlet has been a lifesaver for me. I've been using it since I started my nursing school prerequisites because I wasn't getting the grades that I needed to back in high school, and then in college I switched my studying style around to use Quizlet, and ever since then I have never looked back. So I highly recommend it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and if you're not already and you enjoyed this video, I definitely recommend subscribing for more videos from me in the future because I have many more videos to come. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video.